Child, the streets are saying that Diddy allegedly tried to take out Kimora Lee Simmons after Kimora tried to expose his alleged role in Kim Porter's death. So I'm sure y'all heard how Kimora's house caught fire recently, but the streets are saying that it's not a coincidence, and it has Diddy's name written all over it. Kimora is terrified for her life because she believes that a certain someone might be out to get her and take her out. Kimora has been coming out in the past couple of months, exposing some of the darkest and shadiest men in Hollywood, especially her ex-husband, Russell Simmons. And in the past couple of weeks, Diddy. Kimora went in on Diddy after Cassie filed her lawsuit, and she kind of hinted that he might have something to do with Kim Porter's death. You see, Kim and Kimora were besties when Kim was alive, and Kimora was devastated when she passed. And she was actually the first one to arrive at her house when she died. And for years, there has been speculation that Diddy knew more about her death than he let on because he treated her very badly when she was alive. You know how Cassie's lawsuit revealed that Diddy used to put paws on her and hurt her? She said that Diddy SA'd Miss Ventura in her own home after she tried to leave him, often punched, kicked, and stomped on Miss Ventura, resulting in bruises, burst lips, black eyes, and bleeding, forced Miss Ventura to engage in intimate acts with male SWs while getting off on it and filming the encounters, demanded that Miss Ventura to carry his firearm in her purse just to make her uncomfortable and demonstrate how dangerous he is, and introduced Miss Ventura to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol and substance and required her to procure illicit prescriptions to satisfy his own addiction. Well, it turns out that Kim Porter got the same treatment from him, and this is one big reason that people still believe that he had something to do with her death. His bodyguard Gene even revealed that Diddy used to put his hands on Kim all the time, and she got so frustrated that she eventually started to fight back and sent him to the ER.
One night, when they were at home at Kim's house on 110th Street, he wanted to, put his hands on her in the wrong way. And Kim took one of those corkscrews and ripped his wrists up and hit an artery. And when she did that, he had to rush over to St. Luke's Hospital.
But that didn't end there, and he continued to lay hands on her. And as her friend Kimora Lee, she knew what was going on with Kim and Diddy, and she hated Diddy for it. It probably didn't help that Diddy threatened to beat Kimora up as well, and when she was heavily pregnant. According to news reports, there was a nasty cloudburst when Kimora said something to Combs, and he threatened to hit her. Kimora confirmed that this really happened, saying, "And I was pregnant." The moron. So Diddy is known to have put his hands on Kim, and like I said, there were even suggestions that he might have taken her out. Jaguar Wright hinted at this during an interview, and by now y'all know that Jaguar might tell some wild stories, but the stories usually end up being true.
Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. They have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms.
After Cassie filed her lawsuit, Kimora showed her support by throwing shade at Diddy and saying, "As you sow, so shall you reap." She also followed the case closely because after Cassie and Diddy settled the case, she posted a throwback picture of Kim Porter with heart emojis. She also said, "Starting a girl gang of women aggressively supporting other women. So hands up if you want in, because if we get enough people, we're totally getting jackets." So yeah, Kimora 100% believes that Diddy knows something about Kim's passing. Well, it's been about a week or so after this happened, and the next thing we know, Kimora's house catches fire. And it's no small fire because the fire department had to be called, and multiple units were called over to her house to put out the fire. She addressed the situation on Instagram saying, "My house caught fire. The kids and I are all fine. I cannot express enough of my deepest gratitude to the numerous battalions, ladders, and units that attended to us for many hours today and quite possibly saved our lives. Thank you." The moment we found out about the fire, everybody started pointing fingers at Diddy and giving him the side eye because the coincidence was just too suspicious. A lot of people believe that he allegedly arranged for Kimora's house to be set on fire as a way to send her a message to keep her mouth shut. Some also allege that Kimora has a copy of the tell-all book that Kim wrote, and this is why maybe certain somebody wanted that copy gone. As crazy as that sounds, it's not surprising because Cassie revealed how Diddy comes for his ops. She said, for example, on one occasion when Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura were using drugs together in his home, one of his security staff barged in and announced that Suge Knight, a longtime rival of Mr. Combs, was spotted at Mel's Drive-In Diner in Los Angeles. Mr. Combs began to get dressed, retrieved multiple from a safe, and ran out of his home to where he believed Mr. Knight was dying. And considering that this man literally blew up Kid Cudi's car, I wouldn't put past him if he really had something to do with that fire. So yeah, if he tried to take out Suge Knight and Kid Cudi, sending a warning message to Kimora would be a piece of cake. And according to sources, Kimora knows this, and that is why she is terrified for her life and her kids. The source added that Kimora has put in place some better security measures. She has hired more security, but even though she is going over and above to feel safe, she still doesn't feel safe and she is living in fear. People are adding up the pieces and they are calling Diddy out, saying stuff like, if something happens to Kimora Lee, I'm 100% casting a spell on Diddy and his bloodline. Because be effing for real, that house fire was no accident. Kimora Lee Simmons' house catching fire amidst all this dirty laundry about Diddy coming out isn't a coincidence to me. I'm sorry, but I don't buy it. And Kimora Lee's house mysteriously caught on fire yesterday. Kimora Lee was one of Kim Porter's close friends who knew the contents of her tell-all book about Diddy. But do you guys believe that Diddy really tried to unalive Kimora? Or do you think that this is just one big coincidence that people are taking way too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, then check out this next video.